Welcome to the World History Storytellers channel as we unlock our journey beginning with Asia. In Asia, we are starting this journey from Afghanistan. Now, forget everything you know about Afghanistan for a moment. Ignore the headlines of the last 40 years because before it was ever a battlefield, it was the heartbeat of the world. When you hear the name Afghanistan, our mind often goes to a place of war, conflict, and instability. But what if I told you that this imagination is only a fraction of the truth? That long before Afghanistan became the headline, it was something else entirely. A crossroad, a meeting point, a land that shaped the movement of people, ideas, and civilization. Before we continue, here are a few important things we should know. Her official name is the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. Her capital is Kabul, which is Afghanistan's largest city. It has a population of approximately 43.4 million, according to the 2025 estimate. Her official languages are Dari and Pashtun. Dari is her lingua franca and used by about 78% of her population. Pashtun is the native tongue of the Pashtun people, used by about 50% of its people. It is also good to note that many Afghanistans are bilingual. Its official currency is Afghani. Afghanistan is covering an area of about 652,860 square meters, while the total landmass area of about 252,071 square meters. Her official religion is Islam, with over 99% Muslims. When you talk about history and culture, history can never forget that it was a strategic crossroad, a historic Silk Road stop, attracting empires like the Greeks under Alexander the Great, the Persians, the Kushans, and the Mughals, and later a buffer state in the Great Games. Afghan is a nation that has shown great resilience. She is known for her fierce independence and resistance to foreign occupations, enduring Soviet invasions, US interventions, and internal conflicts. It holds a vibrant Islamic culture with rich traditions in poetry, music, crafts, and sports like the Buzkashi. Buzkashi means goat pulling. It is the most favored sport of Afghan people. It is like a traditional sport in which horse-mounted players attempt to place a goat or calf carcass in a goal to earn points. Take a look at her economy and resources. Agriculture is a vital sector, though hampered by infrastructure. Agriculture is the cornerstone of the Afghan economy, employing about 44 to 60% workforce and contributing roughly one-third of its GDP. Yet, its potential is severely constrained by damaged infrastructure and environmental factor. As of 2024-2025, the sector is under strain, facing a cycle of recovery shock, due to chronic underinvestment and the impact of climate change. Let me explain a bit about how infrastructural issues, along with environmental and logistical challenges, hamper the sector. 1. Inadequate irrigation system and water management. 2. Poor transportation and storage logistics. 3. Limited access to technology and inputs. 4. Climate change and land degradation. 5. Socio-economic and political factors. Despite these challenges, agriculture remains ripe for development if investments in irrigation, cold storage, and modern techniques are made to turn subsequent farming into commercialized high-value sector. In natural resources, a significant amount of untapped reserves of lithium, copper, iron ore, rare earth metal, and precious stone still sleeps quietly on the Afghan soil. Afghanistan sits on an estimated 1 trillion to 3 trillion worth of untapped mineral resources, with some estimates suggesting even higher potential due to surging global demand for green technology minerals, often referred to as the Saudi Arabia of lithium. The country holds vast underdeveloped deposits of lithium, copper, iron ore, rare earth elements, and precious stone. Her challenges include underdevelopment, poverty, and security threats. Persist complications by the current political situation under the Taliban rule since the US withdrawal in 2021. Complex geopolitical landscapes with internal division and strained relations with neighbors. Humanitarian and economic crises continue, with international aid and internal stability being major concerns. To understand Afghanistan, we must first set aside what we think we know. Look at the map. Afghanistan sits at the absolute center of the world's greatest story. It sits at the heart of Asia. It connects Central Asia, South Asia, and West Asia. To the north lies the steppes of Central Asia. To the south, the Indian subcontinent. To the west, the Middle East. And to the east, the gateway towards China. This location alone made Afghanistan important, not just to civilization, but to many. For thousands of years, anyone passing through Asia had to pass through this land. You didn't conquer the world without passing through here. This land was a garden of cultures. It was where Greek philosophers met Buddhist monks, where Persian poets walked the same streets as the Mongol warriors. It attracted every great empire in history, not because they wanted a war, but because they wanted the key to the world. Afghanistan was never meant to be isolated. It stood along ancient trade routes that later became known as the Silk Road paths that carried silk, spices, gold, ideas, language, and belief system. Merchants passed through here, scholars passed through here, empires passed through here, and each left something behind. Afghanistan did not simply receive history, it absorbed it. The soil of Afghanistan isn't made of dust and stone. It's made of layers of civilization, stacked on top another. It is the land of poets, architecture, and survivors who have seen empires rise and fall while the mountains remain unmoved. Afghanistan was once a place where Buddhism thrived, where scholars debated on ideas, where arts and architecture flourished. These stories rarely make the headlines today, but they matter. As the modern world took shape, Afghanistan found itself caught between powerful forces. Empires no longer passed through her land, but rather they tried to compete for it. The same land that once connected civilization became a place where others tried to control, and this would change the history and story of Afghanistan forever. Afghanistan is a layer of history stacked on top another. Before we talk about conflict, we must first understand where it came from, and we cannot understand the present without knowing the past, and this is only the beginning of Afghanistan's story. If you like stories like this and want to hear more, do not forget to click on that button. Follow us. Thank you so much.